Banji Vakorja, Ke Wilshiv, hello everybody. Banachty, Connacht and Arijiv Shegalair. Spring equinox blessings to all of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere, and Banachty, Connacht and Or for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere. And I see we have some from New Zealand. Hi, Lloyd, from Gisborne in New Zealand. You're all very, very welcome. Let me see where other people are from. Gothenburg, Prince Edward Island, from Portugal, Gloucester, County Louth. Happy 400th anniversary! I was wondering why this is the 400. This is episode 400 of Tea with the Druid from South Wales, Lincoln, Italy. Just lovely to see you all. Finland, lovely. Where else we got? Barkham and Sussex, lovely. US, Aberdeenshire, Gloucester, Folkestone, Kent. Brilliant. Lovely to see you all. Belfast. Great. The Netherlands. Wyoming warming up. Well, actually, we've had a few lovely sunny days. Today was a little bit dull, but we had our equinox ceremony yesterday in the garden, and you could feel the embrace of the warm air. Not hot, but no damp. We've had a lot of rain this winter, so here in Ireland. So it's lovely to have some dryness. I should turn these lights off. Sorry about that. So anyway, Germany, lovely. Gold Coast, Australia, brilliant. So here I am. I think it seems I'm coming on here every month to do I'm going to say fireside chat. Sorry, Tea with the Druid. And I suppose the last few times I've been kind of a little bit ranty about what's going on in the world. Well, I'm going to continue in that vein. When concerned about leadership and leadership in the world and the models of leaders that we have. And I was looking at Audacht Moran. This is a translation by Fergus Kelly. I've mentioned him before. It's the testament of Moran, a wise judge. And in this text, now it goes back to the 8th century. So it's translated from Old Irish into English. So Moran is this wise judge, and through his foster son Nera, he's giving advice to young King Feradach Fin Fecnach on what it is to be a king and a ruler. And I think leaders today could well take a good look at this document. And I think when I speak, I imagine that you as Druids as well, and viewers or Druid adjacent people, will actually get what it is I'm talking about. So the central theme of Audacht Moran is that the welfare of the king and his people or his tribe depends on his justice, or fear flahaman. And this justice protects the tribe from plague, lightning, attack, and ensures the abundance of fruit, corn, milk, the fertility of women, and it ensures the maintenance of peace and prosperity. And Moran stresses, the interconnectedness, the interdependence of the king and his tribe. And that phrase that no man's an island. None of us are isolated, but neither are leaders. Leaders depend on followers. And he states that there are only 4 types of rulers. I think you recognize some of these. So there's the true ruler, there's the wily ruler, there's the ruler of occupation with hosts, and there's the bull ruler. So the true ruler, that's described, and I love it in Irish, it's Fíorla is the true ruler, is moved towards every good thing. He smiles on the truth when he hears it, and I assume this applies to women as well, but given the time it was written in. He exults in it when he sees it. And for he whom the living do not glorify with blessings is not a true ruler. So a ruler is only as good as the people who follow. And there's that's bringing out, emphasizing that interdependence of the ruler and the people. The wily ruler, the Keela, depends on borders and tribes. They yield their valuables and dues to him. Not great. The ruler of occupation with hosts from outside. His forces turn away. They put off his needs. For a prosperous man does not turn outside. I'm not too sure what that means really myself. And this is the one I love, and you'll all identify this one. The bull ruler. Taravla. Strikes and is struck. Wards off and is warded off. Roots out and is rooted out. Attacks and is attacked. Pursues and is pursues. Against him there is always bellowing with horns. So I'm sure you can identify or you can recognize those kind of leaders that are ruling today, sadly. And if only, yes, it's Bull, the Bull ruler. And it's and in this, Lloyd says, say no more. Okay, so you're actually getting what I'm talking about. And this is what Moran says to Nera that he's to pass on to young King Feradach. Let him keep my advice, which follows here. And those of you who know the Druid's prayer will really get this as well. Let him preserve justice. It will preserve him. Let him raise justice. It will raise him. Let him exalt mercy. It will exalt him. Let him care for his tribes. They will care for him. Let him help his tribes. They will help him. Let him soothe his tribes. They will soothe him. Tell him, it is through the justice of the ruler that plagues and great lightnings are kept from the people. It is through the justice of the ruler that he judges great tribes and great riches. It is through the justice of the ruler that he secures peace, tranquility, joy, ease, and comfort. And it's like, where is that happening today? Who knows? I'm sure there are decent leaders out there, but the ones that are getting all the attention at the moment don't seem to be following these. It is through the justice of the ruler that every heir plants and his house post in his fair inheritance. It is through the justice of the ruler that abundances of great tree fruit of the great wood are tasted. It is through the justice of the ruler that milk yields of great cattle are maintained. It is through the justice of the ruler that there is abundance of every high, tall corn. And of course, so many of our stories and myths that if there was a harvest failure or disease or war, that reflected pure badly on the king. That times of prosperity and abundance and peace were a recognition that the king was honouring sovereignty, honouring the goddess, honouring the land. And you can see what's happening with the destruction of the world, how sad it is that very little of this is happening in so many places. Tell him, let him not redden many forecourts, for bloodshed is a vain destruction of all rule and of protection from the kin for the ruler. Tell him, let not riches or great treasures or profits blind him to the weak in their sufferings. So let him estimate the right and justice, truth and law, contract and regulation of every just ruler towards all his clients. Announce to him the high points of my words. This is what Moran is saying. Darkness yields to light. Sorrow yields to joy. I hope this is true. An oaf yields to a sage. A fool yields to a wise man. A serf yields to a free man. Inhospitality yields to hospitality. Miserliness yields to generosity. Meanness yields to liberality. Impetuosity yields to composure. Turbulence yields to submission. A usurper yields to a true lord. Conflict yields to peace. Falsehood yields to truth. Tell him. Let him be merciful, just, impartial, conscientious, firm, generous, hospitable, honourable, stable, beneficent, capable, honest, well-spoken, steady, true judging. So there's loads of content. Heavens, this describes everything. Wonderful. The same description of the ruler being as good as the people ruled and vice versa is found in the Vedic tradition as well. Thank you for that. Liz says actually makes sense because we know that a lot of natural disasters, when you look at them, usually have some kind of failure of society or leadership as actuals. Actually, I hadn't thought of that, Liz, but you are absolutely true. No King's Day protest this week. We'll be telling him there. Okay, lovely. Peace and plenty. Justice will be done. I'm loving this peace. Indiana says hello. Peace from Chesapeake. Brilliant. There's so much wisdom. I love this book. I'm going to put it in. It's Fergus Kelly's Audach Moran. I'll just put it into the chat now while I remember it. So I'd be just interested in, we better begin a meditation now. Shouldn't we do this? So it's all very easy, I think, in many ways those bad leaders and what they're not doing is how do we bring kingship into our own lives, into our own world? How can we be the king or the queen in our own life? About how merciful are we, how just, how impartial, how conscientious, generous, honest, well-spoken, steady, capable. So we can apply those, to ourselves as well. So, okay, let's go into our own kingship. So just invite you to. Okay, Lisa says, I'm working very much to give and to act in the positive as much as possible. Yeah. Thank you for that. I don't know how other people are managing. By espousing those traits ourselves. Absolutely, absolutely. Because I think it's very easy to point to others and say they're not doing something right. But, we can be tyrants in our own homes, or we can be benevolent people in our own homes. It all depends. So anyway, just invite you to become comfortable in front of your screen or your phone, whatever it is you're watching this. And just become aware of the floor beneath your feet, the ceiling above you, and the walls around you. Just before we do, let's just leading by example. We have to look to ourselves before we look at others. Growing your own leadership. Great. So, as you're there sitting on your chair, become comfortable, become aware of your breath. Don't try and change it. Just breathing in and breathing out. Following your in-breath as it enters your body. Following your out-breath as it leaves your body. Breathing in. Breathing out. Remember, with every in-breath, there are possibilities, and with every out-breath, there's a letting go. Breathing in and breathing out. Just invite you to let your awareness of yourself sitting in the chair begin to fade and become aware of yourself out on a grassy plain. And you see ahead of you a forest. You can feel the warmth of the sun against your skin. The sky is blue. And you begin to walk towards that forest. You sense an invitation. You see the silver birch surrounding that forest. These are the mother trees protecting the oak and ash within. And as you walk slowly towards that forest, you suddenly notice an opening. It's as if the trees part. And you can see this path inviting you to enter into the forest. And as you enter, you can feel the magic of the trees around you, the containment, the support. You're like entering a little oasis, a place of calm, a haven of peace and serenity. And you look around and you notice the colours, the different shades of green and brown. Maybe there are coloured birds, flowers. If you look up, what colour is the sky? And then the sounds maybe of insects, birds calling to each other, maybe the wind rustling through the leaves and the trees, the crackle of the leaves or the twigs beneath your feet as you're walking along the path. Notice the smells. Notice the textures, the tastes. And as you walk slowly along that path, you're aware with each step, it's almost like if you take a step with every breath, with each one, you can feel the earth energy coming right up through the soles of your feet, right up through your legs and thighs, into your torso, filling your heart space. That beautiful earth energy nurturing you, energizing you, spiraling within your heart space. And your awareness of that energy getting stronger with every step you take. And then you look to the sky. And you invite that sky energy to come down through the top of your head, right down into your torso. And again, with every in-breath, every step, you're drawing down that sky energy. There, the sky energy meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And sensing them spiraling together in harmony and balance, filling every cell of your body. And with the power of that awareness, the awareness of the earth energy and the sky energy within your being and surrounded by the energy of the trees, the forest. Feeling held, nurtured, strong, safe, at peace. You continue walking along that path until you come to a clearing. And in the center of that clearing is a fire. You can see the beautiful orange and red and yellow flames. And you hear the sound of the crackling. You sense an invitation to go closer to the fire. And as you're standing near it, not exactly on top of it, you notice other druids, other people in this clearing as well. And you form a circle around that fireplace. And you have that sense of solidarity and support in this grove of druids. A sense of fellowship, support, solidarity. And then you notice just in front of the fireplace is a little altar, is a flat stone, a lach. And on it are objects. And when you're ready, walk up towards that altar and see which object calls you. That object represents your leadership, your kingship, your queenship. The ruler within of your life. And you pick up that object and you examine it, explore it. Look at it from all angles. What does it mean to you? This represents your conscientiousness, your generosity, your honor, your stability, your beneficence, your integrity, your honesty, your steadfastness, your justice, your impartiality, your capability, your true judging, your firmness, what brings to mind as you hold that object? The Druid's prayer, grant, O Spirit, thy protection, and in protection strength, and in strength understanding, and in understanding knowledge, and in knowledge the knowledge of justice, and in the knowledge of justice the love of it, and in the love of it the love of all existences, and in the love of all existences the love of spirit and all goodness. And look at your object once more. How can you be the best leader for you in your life, in your surroundings, in your contexting? How can you honor yourself? How can you have your own sovereignty, respecting the sovereignty of others? To look at your object once more and hold it to your heart. And as you hold it to your heart space, You feel it becomes absorbed within you. That object is a symbol of your kingship, but it also is your kingship. It contains the qualities that you need and you value and that you have within you. Be aware of how you feel standing in circle with those fellow druids who each hold within themselves their own kingship or queenship. Sensing the magic and the power of standing in solidarity in a circle of people with integrity, honesty, justice, peace lovers. Not perfect people, but people who do the best they can to live with integrity, to live with honour, to live with love, with the strength that you can get from each other standing in circle. Having that sense that you are not alone, that there are other people in the world like you. And now it is time to say goodbye, and your awareness of your fellow druids begin to fade. And you give thanks to that fire. Thanks to the kingship you now have within you. And you begin to walk back along that path through the forest. And then when you come to the edge of the forest, you just walk out onto that green plain. You turn once more to the forest to give thanks, and you notice the door is closed. But know that'll be open to you anytime you go there. You can go back to that clearing in the forest whenever you wish. And then you allow your awareness of yourself standing on that plain beside that forest. Begin to become more aware of yourself sitting in front of your computer, feeling the floor beneath your feet, being aware of the ceiling above you and the walls around you. When you're ready, just take a big deep breath, stretch. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So I'm just interested if you just tap into the chat, what that has meant to you. David said, needed that tonight. Thank you. It was helpful, loved it. Thank you for feeding the green with embodied presence as we weave together. We meet well, this ever unfolding. Now, Anam Kara, yes. Very meaningful, thank you. I gave away this actual object last week. Oh, it was a stone with a whole hagstone. I'll put this up here so I can read it easily. It's not jumping. But to one lady, I gave this pebble stone because she had made something similar early. I happened to find it. There is more to one story. It surprised me that I gave it to her. Now it makes sense. Thank you, Emer. Thanks so much. I really need your help to hear. Whoops, the comments are flying now. I want to take this one off the screen. Sorry about that. Blessing abundant. I always love the river stone, standing grounded while guiding others. It's changing currents. Gave me strength. I love this. I had four-sided chalice like you spoke of several weeks ago. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. Love is eternal. Very grounding. Thanks so much. I really need your help to hear your words to help me change, to help me be a better person on a very bad moment in my life. Hopefully, Larissa, None of us is perfect. I'm telling you, I'm not anyway, but it's just lovely to be able to come back to these places to kind of be renewed and grounded. That was poignant, powerful. I needed that. Beautiful. A dandelion, lovely, humble but straight, shining and bright. You know what? Dandelions are invincible. The world's companies spend millions trying to kill them. They come back every year. And I remember a teacher telling me, if you mow the dandelion, it'll come back shorter the next time. It'll still come back. I love the persistence of dandelions. Brilliant. A little deer appeared. Beautiful. My object was a dagger, but was connected to the crysknife of the Dune series. I'm not too sure of that. Gave me solidarity with deep blue and green flows of collective energy flowering. Beautiful. A blue stone found on the Fife beach. Lovely. Had a stone with a triskel carved in it. Perfectly fit in the palm of my hand. Beautiful. Oh, that's lovely. I was quite surprised to see a silver branch with 7 bells. I need to think about that. Beautiful. Wonderful. A green onyx bowl full of blessed olive oil, and I felt it was ready to bless Nanny. Oh, beautiful. That sounds lovely. Gifted the feather of the crow and the feather of the ibis. Beautiful ocean shell. A feather used to write. It makes so much sense to me now. Doing an ink drawing of Achrani stone circle while you guide our meditation. Thank you. Beautiful. Oh, great. Community of kindness, so reassuring to be among peace-loving folks. Indeed. The word that kept welling up is sovereignty. I can be sovereign in and of my sacred life with a chalice, with a blue stone. Beautiful. So, thank you. A flat river jade with smooth edges, engraved with spiraling triskel upon it. It's my first meditation. Thank you. It was powerful. I really felt everything. Beautiful. My object was a Highland bull. Lovely. The Highland cattle are lovely. They're so peaceful and quiet. A pebble. Still need to try to understand more what it means. It doesn't always come to you at a meditation. It comes afterwards often. A ball of tangled yarn. How life is intricate connections woven together by different threads. That's beautiful. And the patience and understanding of the whole. Oxeye daisies on the altar. Beautiful. A silver chalice filled with healing water. That's wonderful. A bird calling whistle. Oh, lovely. Brilliant. So thank you all so much for joining me this evening. And I'm sure I'll be back next month. A rose quartz stone with a shining spiral surrounding it. Beautiful. So for the rest of us, move over to the hearth for biscuits. And may you continue to be well, and may the solidarity and the energy and the interconnectedness that we have through meetings like this, may they continue to grow and spiral outwards to make the world a better place. A wand, lovely. Piece of brown hide and a heavy egg-shaped silver stone. Beautiful. So thank you all until we meet again. Slán go fóill agus bígí slán. Okay. I will just say. So until we meet again, bye-bye.